Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of war, kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must tread carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.
I, Guifré the Hairy, am finally a duke. Cheap mercenaries and faithful allies were key in overthrowing Bernat II, and although Bernat still holds the Duchy of Languedoc, we are now fellow vassals of King Charles the Bald, who is currently winning an independence war I thankfully did not engage in. As if taking the role of a duke wasn't exciting enough, my wife and soulmate Antha has given birth to not one, not two, not even three, but 5 children in the space of 4 years. She is my champion, greater in strength and character than any of my knights. Not only has she given me 4 amazing daughters in Antha II, Maria, Ermesinda, and Nimilde, but she has also given me a male heir, Guifré II. My bloodline has been officially secured, and I could not be more thankful for the woman that made it possible. What new adventures await, I honestly cannot say, but for now, it's time to let my kingdom rest from weary war, if I can. Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 role-playing as Duke Guifré the Hairy. That will take a little bit of time to get used to, but I'm very, very thankful that that has finally happened. A few housekeeping things before we continue, as always with all of these episodes. If you enjoy any part of it while you're watching, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications, and of course, leave your comments. Your comments are extremely helpful, as I have actually decided to change up some of my decisions thanks to what you have recommended. So I do appreciate them, I do read them, and trust me, I do take them into consideration. Second, of course, if you want to support this channel in other ways, you can become a channel member, which I am going to start working on integrating the current members, of which there are 2, I believe, in which they will become characters within my role-playing. And if you want to become a character in my role-playing series, you can become a member, and you just let me know what you would like. I'll try and work yourself in. And then last but not least at all, if you want to support the channel and also reward yourself, you can head over to my Nexus official store, where you can purchase several different types of games, which gives you a game and also gives me a small commission. It's a small thing, but it does go a very long way to showing some support. Now, with that out of the way, it's time to look to my kingdom, because we've got some housekeeping things that need done. For one, we are going to attempt to not be at war. Now, I say that, but at the same time, I really need to find a way to imprison Count Sunyar. He has a 0% chance of obeying my orders, which isn't surprising whatsoever. And he has very, very few troops. The kicker right now is that I am currently in debt, which is a huge negative in the eyes of my kingdom. So unless he dies, which is unlikely, he is just a year older than I am, it looks like we may just hang out for a little bit, let our kingdom breathe a little, and then continue on our way to capturing him and hope that we can do so. If I could get rid of Count Sunyar, my life will be significantly easier. Second, you guys have said that there is no reason whatsoever why I should not educate my own children. So what we are going to do is I'm going to make sure that I educate Guifré de Barcelona, which of course he will accept. And then I just need to essentially, I think I'm going to educate my top 2 daughters. And I believe I actually already am. So that's not a terrible thing. Now, Ermesinda and Nimilde, I don't know how many children I can take on. Can I take on all of my children? I think I can. This is going to be a little bit of a handful, but I believe educating all of my children will be great. And let's go ahead and see if there are ways that we can influence them a little more. Of course, with Antha II, she is under the intrigue because, well, she's pretty much fit for it. Maria, she's curious, which means she could go into diplomacy or learning. Now, of course, under the genius thing, that's right. I forgot I had her come back. Yes, that's exactly what we need to do. No, I don't give a crap. I don't give a rat's backside. She will be my guardian and no one else's. Let's go ahead and push her into diplomacy. Perhaps I could use her in the future, depending on how she grows up. Now, we are more inclined, my daughter and ward, Ermesinda de Barcelona. She's only 2, but I really feel like, let's push her towards stewardship. Then perhaps we can focus on that, so whoever's wife she becomes, she will be able to further his realm through the use of higher domains, assuming, of course, that is what he decides to use her for. That's a long ways away. But you know what? I feel like it's never too early to start a child's education. And if I can be in charge of that, I think that would be just absolutely perfect. So my life will indeed be busy, but you know what? Running the realm of Barcelona will be great. Now, just a couple of things before we begin. I have taken a look at what my counselors have also suggested. And I do believe that going after and founding the Kingdom of Aragon will be indeed probably the best pursuit that we could do. It would create a very unique culture amongst my family line, which would be great. We would get the Kingdom of Aragon, of course. There's only a few hiccups. For one, I have to be an independent ruler, which, of course, you, my council, have suggested that I wait and see what happens with King Charles before I make that decision. I don't have the forces to be able to take him on right now, nor is it a wise thing financially. We have to remember these things. But we'll see what King Charles does. I do believe he is in his late 60s, and so I can't imagine he'll have too much longer of a life left. We also have to completely control Saracusta. Now, Saracusta is currently under Emir Mohammed II Ibn al-Wahhad of Saracusta, of course, and he doesn't like me whatsoever. So while I will remain rather friendly with various Muslim rulers to our south, I think we're going to have to go to war with him eventually. He has no allies, which is of course a great advantage for us, although he does have double the troops. This is very far in the future. I'm only 37, 36, 37? I'm 37. So we have some time, and who knows what may happen. But going back to the Kingdom of Aragon, we do need to own Saracusta. I do need to control Barcelona, Valencia, or completely control Navarra. Now, Navarra is also another target. We have a rather old King Garcia El Nec of Navarra. Now, he does have some very strong allies, but of course, we don't know what his heir is going to do as well. So we'll have to see how that future looks for us. Regardless, I think founding the Kingdom of Aragon will be the life goal of House Barcelona for now. I think it's a very obtainable one. I very much look forward to seeing how this turns out. There is always going to be an in-law confrontation from my own experiences, but also just in the world in general. Things can't, of course, go along perfectly, and unfortunately, the same goes for my own family. My spy master, Mayor Valencia of Andorra, has come to me with some rather unfortunate news. My mother, Ermesinda of Carcassonne, of which I have named one of my daughters after, she's scheming against my wife, Duchess Antha. On the one hand, she's family. On the other hand, she's scheming against my wife, who knows what she's trying to do. And as both someone who has a soulmate, who is my wife, any slight against her is a slight against me. And I do desire justice for any slight. Now, of course, we could just let her, let everyone know. Is that justice enough? Or do I throw her in jail? All of Vicenna de Carcassonne's family loses 15 opinion. That's all of my people. That's my entire family, unfortunately. I think if we exposed her, that would be justice enough. It would potentially ruin the scheme against her. It would. The success chance is only 5%. I think it's enough to where... I think I just expose her. I think that would be justice enough that would work for our causes to keep Antha safe while also preserving the family opinion of my entire family, many of whom are my vassals at this point. We'll let the traitor be known to all. Few things bring me more joy than when my wife becomes even more of a mother. Amongst many of her duties, now she became pregnant, something I unfortunately neglected to let you, my audience, know as you read my story. However, after many months, Antha, you have been so brave, so strong again, stronger than any of my knights after giving birth to my 6th child and my 2nd son. Now, child, who will you become? As I name you Rodulf. May you grow to be strong and wise. And let's check on the other children. Antha de Barcelona is 5. She's still rowdy. I could go ahead and try and find a spouse for her, but I feel it's significantly too early. Maria de Barcelona is still deep in her studies as a curious child in diplomacy and learning. Ermesenda, oh no, oh no. We have another rowdy child in our midst. While this trait certainly could go away, let's focus on a martial education. Switch things up a little bit. Nimilde is still unfortunately very, very sick. I can only pray that my physician and God would heal her and choose to allow her to thrive. Guifré II, still too young, barely even 1 year old. I'm very excited to see where this child goes in life. And then, of course, my newborn son, Rodulf de Barcelona. May you grow strong and wise, my son. Man, 6 children. Goodness gracious. I received a messenger early this morning, the 5th of August of 878, from a Duke Bernat II of Languedoc, which looks a bit different on the messenger's description. It appears he wants to ransom someone. That person actually turned out to be his mother, who I took prisoner in the war against Bernat II. In a strange turn of events, it appears that Duke Bernat II is now in charge of Languedoc. In a very strange turn of events, it appears that Bernat Galon is now under Ragnar Hestensen of Montague. A very strange turn of events. I'm unsure what caused this or how it happened. Perhaps in the war against West Francia, he was able to strike a deal and convert Bernat Galon over to his court. Very strange turn of events indeed. Unfortunately, Duke Bernat, she's worth 25 gold and you've yet to be able to produce that. So give me a little bit. My ambition requires a little bit of gold. Come back to me in a little bit, my young fellow vassal. Perhaps we can talk then. The Barcelona dynasty has done exceedingly well considering the short amount of time that our dynasty has returned to power. My brothers and sisters have done well. I've fathered many children, and my brothers and sisters have also birthed, created, made children of their own. And because of this, we can now instill a dynasty legacy, which influences and helps every single one of our family members. Considering our location between the ever-changing Iberian Peninsula and, of course, our rather unfriendly Christians to the north of us, I can't help but think that warfare is one of the best ways that we can influence every member of our family. Under the House of Warriors, every single dynasty member, male or female, will increase their prowess, will make them just generally a House of Warriors. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if House de Barcelona becomes known for our prowess. On top of that, our knight effectiveness goes up. Because we are a House of Warriors, naturally, our knights would do better. It just makes sense. I think that is the best way that we move forward, at least within this generation, and hope that our renown will increase greater and greater, faster and faster, to where more dynastic legacies can be enacted to further the bloodline of House de Barcelona. It's done. House de Barcelona is now a House of Warriors. The jealousies of family can be a fickle thing, but I tell you what, Mayor Valencia is one hell of a spy master. She's uncovered several plots in the time between my story. Not only did she discover the plot of my mother against my wife, but now it appears that my mother has influenced my brother, Rickwolf, who is also my court tutor, who is also my knight. He is now plotting against my wife, Duchess Antha. Now there's nothing I can quite do at the moment, because unfortunately he hasn't done anything. And anything that I were to do would be an act of tyranny, not to mention, while I am indeed vengeful, I am also just, which means I do need an actual just cause to imprison him. That doesn't mean, I'm wondering if I couldn't take Oliva de Barcelona into my court. We'll keep an eye on him. But I feel that this isn't going to be the last time that we hear of his influence, of my mother's influence, in the entire scheme against my wife. But thank you, Mayor Valencia. I will find a way to reward you. In fact, I think I will grant you a county. I think I'm going to grant you the county of Sardana. I won't lose too many. I'll lose some levies, of course, and I'll lose a bit of taxes. But Mayor Valencia, you deserve to be rewarded for your consistent ability to unravel plots within my own court. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I will gain a bit of stress, but I do believe patience and justice outweigh my ambitions. Absolutely. Welcome, now, Lady Mayor Valencia of Sardana, for uncovering yet another plot against my wife. Not only am I trying to persuade and sway my vassals to prevent a war, which is currently the scheme, if you want to call it that we are working on, but it appears my spouse, Antha, I tell you what, she is indispensable. Indispensable to furthering myself and making me a better man, a better duke, a better father, a better husband. I've gained quite the martial experience, and I gained a focus student, which increases my learning. She aids me in my martial studies, and that's immensely appreciated. I do appreciate it, my wife. And yet, no sooner does she help me in my martial studies than I find some very troubling things. Today, I found a letter addressed to my wife, Antha, written by a lover's hand, which details their last amorous adventure together and begs to know when they can meet again. The letter's author is not identified, and my mind races with speculation about who my wife might be having an affair with. I must find out who this mysterious lover of hers is. If so, she would lose a little bit of opinion of me. I could confront her directly. I will ask her if she has been unfaithful. Now, it is a little bit concerning that she has given birth to 6 children in the space of 5 years. It's not uncommon. And to be honest, we are soulmates and quite amorous. But at the same time, several children. She would essentially be constantly pregnant and... I think we'll ask her if she's been unfaithful. I can always patch things with my wife. And the fact that we are soulmates and that we just are so close in several areas, I don't believe it would truly cause any issues. But I think as a patient person, as a person who seeks justice, I need to know. I confronted Antha about the letter from her secret lover today, but she seems shocked and hurt by the accusation and protested her innocence. I think I'll just trust her. I think we're just gonna have to trust her. It's a gorgeous day on the 15th of August. It is the peak of summer, and my steward, de Impuries, comes to me with 2 very important pieces of information. One which I had forgotten for a while. Well, let's not say forgotten. Rather, I gave time to increase their coffers. But 2 pieces of information. One, it is finally time to request that Fulcre de Toulouse be paid in full from Duke Bernard II of Languedoc. We will ransom that. There's no reason to hold her captive, since Bernard II is now in a different kingdom. He's too far away to do any sort of needed justice. I think he's been humiliated enough to, my patience and my sense for justice has been secured. But second, and honestly, I feel in ways more importantly, my holding the county, or the city rather, of Andorra provides nothing for me. It's not my responsibility as a duke to hold a city. It's my responsibility to man the forts, to secure castles, and do things of that nature. And as such, I can actually grant Andorra to someone who, quite honestly, deserves it. Now, I think one of the best ways that we can secure our knights is to give them land. Now, Bladuid, as much as my mother, who I could still technically imprison, she's gonna die at any time, let's just face it. But we could certainly give land to one of my knights, and I do believe giving it to Bladuid, who is my strongest knight, would be one of the best ways to do it, because not only would it increase my opinion of him, or his opinion of me, but it would give him land, which essentially gives me taxes and a little bit of levies. He would gain 20 opinion of me, which I do appreciate. I wonder if we couldn't potentially sway him to convert over to our culture, if that's a thing. Very nice. That actually really helped us. Now, Mayor Bladuid of Andorra, welcome into the fold of becoming my vassal. Your people wouldn't really do quite so much for me yet, but we'll see if that can't change. I've received a new message this morning from Emir Yusuf ibn Zakaria of Tula, excuse me. This is the same ruler in which we decided to try and impress by learning Arabic. What was pinned inside the letter was something that I didn't expect, but makes me generally actually very excited for my Muslim neighbor to our southwest. Greetings, Duke Guifré of Barcelona. I have studied the DUKE Vulgar language for many moons. I personally penned this missive using the DUKE Vulgar script, a letter of friendship from a speaker of Arabic. I wish for our future diplomatic dealings to benefit us both greatly. He has learned it. Absolutely send my regards, gain 15 opinion, and we also gain a friend in the now. Ooh, he has actually done very well for himself. He is now an emir. That is fantastic. Absolutely. We are now friends. The Iberian struggle catalyst towards consolation has improved, which helps us a lot. So far, consolation is the leading phase. We'll have to see how things go. Holy cow, are we quite significantly able to form a friendship. I could swear an oath of true friendship. I think that would actually really benefit us. I am wondering how we can become allies. If we become best friends, we both get a strong hook on each other, which would be great. Let's do it. Let's make that decision right here and now. We clearly have an interest in furthering each other's lives by learning each other's languages. We'll see if he accepts. Not only did he accept, but he accepted enthusiastically. That's one of the best news we could have gotten. I'm still wondering, yeah, best friend hook, that's okay. I have no issues with that. We could arrange a marriage. Ooh. Ayub ibn Yusuf Kudamid is the son of Emir Yusuf, obviously. 5 years old. My daughter Maria de Barcelona is also 5. They would potentially be betrothed for 11 years. And they would be able to come together in holy matrimony. Unfortunately, Ayub appears to be club-footed, which is a trait that could potentially come back to haunt us. I can't... Ooh. Nope, that won't work. I'm not sure that Maria de Barcelona is the one that we want to use. We may decide that Guifré, that may be the better thing for us. Or even better, Rodolphe. Let's do that. While true friendship indeed would endure, I still have to consider a matrilineal marriage as a possibility for my daughters. And my second son, Rodolphe de Barcelona, although he is 1, Miriam bint Yusuf Kutamid is 3. I think this will work. There's potential inheritable traits. We've crossed political, cultural, religious lines thanks to our friendship. This is exactly what I need to really get stuck into the Iberian Peninsula, to get stuck into this struggle in a positive way and influence it for good. Not to mention, from here on out, we would gain a rather massive alliance for us. I have to do this. I think it will work. Of course he will accept. We have promising prospects. He desires an alliance with us, which why wouldn't he? His opinion of us is fantastic. We speak the Arabic language. He speaks the DUKE Vulgar language. Absolutely, we have to do this. And the alliance is accepted. A betrothal proposition. Your son, Rodolphe, will be betrothed to my daughter, Miriam. We have an alliance. Excellent. This is fantastic. Council members, court members. I believe it's finally time. Count Sunyar of Rosseo is a criminal. You attempted to murder me. I know you will not see any tyrant traits in this. And unfortunately, as my nemesis, as someone who's been a pain in my side for these last 10+ years, he will not accept this imprisonment accusations. He will rise up. Thankfully, we can go after him. We outnumber him by almost 4 times. Our coffers are full enough. He is in debt. Not to mention, he's not very pious. I think this will be a quick and simple little war to imprison him forever and secure one of the lasting thorns in my side. Imprison away. And it doesn't come as a shock. Your wisdom and mercy are legendary. It seems there's no rescue for our dispute other than to settle it on the battlefield. War against the tyranny of Duke Guifré is his claim. 309 men is vastly inferior. Rally the troops. Let's get this war over with. Making immediate moves towards Girona is probably a mistake. We need to fight him in battle. This is the only way that I think things will work. And praise God, not only am I about to ruin my nemesis and finally resolve this lasting rivalry, but my daughter NIMILDE de Barcelona, who has been sick for years, is now finally cured. The weakness that has plagued my daughter since her birth has finally released its hold on her. Praise God. Relief washes over me as I get news and see NIMILDE running around with all the other children. May you grow strong, my child. Now to war. It's a simple war. It's very effective. Brilliant. In the midst of my siege, I received a message from a fellow vassal, significantly younger than I am, but such are the fates. Greeting Duke Guifré of Barcelona. I would be delighted if your daughter Antha II would visit my court in Angers to meet her peers. I'm inviting everyone of note, which unfortunately includes her. Now that's not a very nice thing to say, but of course she'll be there. This is a good way to at least scope out the French courts, and I think it would be a very good thing for her. Still in the midst of the siege, I received another messenger. Emir Muhammad's capital is truly prosperous. The peasants of Sarakusta are fat and happy and productive. This is actually the emir we're trying to potentially go after, mind you. The Muslims have brought a new crop to their lands, rice. It's easy to grow and feeds the people well. Is this part of their success, I wonder? I wouldn't mind being more productive. I would not mind more productive peasantry myself. Perhaps establish rice fields in my own capital. But how should I get started? Gold will loosen his tongue, absolutely. It's a small price to pay for the benefits that we would receive. We pay 20 gold to Emir Muhammad II, and the county of Urgell, our capital, gains rice fields for 20 years. Peasants in this province are growing nutritious rice, filling their bellies and inspiring a new cuisine. We get a reduction in building cost time. Our development growth increases by 0.2 a month, which is fantastic. And our popular opinion goes up, which is absolutely worth the cost. Let's do it. Now there is very little time left. It's simply a couple of weeks before Perpignan is ours, and Count Sunyar is going to try to take one of my lands. Now, my spy master, Lady Mayor Valencia of Sardana, has come to me with some grave news. Too many messengers in the siege. While we don't yet know who, someone is plotting against me. The existence of Claim the Throne has been exposed. Let's take a brief look. It does appear to have a 90% success chance. Now, she is disrupting schemes to the best of her abilities. I'm wanting to say, Duchess can't really help me with that, unfortunately. So it appears we're going to have to be a little bit cautious. I think that's the word to use. Now, we have successfully taken the county of Rosselló, but I still need to go after the Duke, or the Count Sunyar himself, who is leading this army. We need to do this on the battlefield. But before we begin, the renowned inventor, Abbas ibn Furnus, has sought out me with some very odd petition, carrying a pair of wings made from wood and silk. Long have humans lusted to soar through the heavens. Yeah, we know how that ended. And I have made calculations. I will prove that we can. Allow me to jump from the tallest tower of your castle, my lord, and I shall serve you faithfully afterwards. Unfortunately, my daughter's learned of this and is begging me to let her see the aged scholar take flight. If we allow it, there is a 60% chance that we will gain a great deal of prestige and that he will join our court. And then Maria gains brave. There is a 40% chance that he dies. and in which case there's a 50% chance that Maria will gain melancholic or sadistic. If we try, there's a, oh no, we're not going to risk that. We'll let the old man try it, why not? And he fell to his death and Maria has gained melancholic. Well, we tried. Let's get this war over with. Oh no, Count Sunyar, you are not going to run away from me. And it appears he is not running. He is going to fight to his very end. Oh no. Oh no. There's never a quiet moment. My son and heir Guifré, who is on the road with me, is full of questions. I do my best to encourage his curiosity, but sometimes can I help but get exhausted by the constant stream of thoughts and queries. He gains the trait curious, diving him into diplomacy and learning. Why are you in rags, my son? Oh, because he's ill. Well, that's not good. We actually haven't given him an education focus. I think we're going to go with learning with our son. Yes, we're making this decision in the midst of a battle. Absolutely. Makes complete sense. We're going to choose that focus for him and hope that he can endure. Can I not send my physician after him? Perhaps it's not that serious. I don't know. Looks a bit serious to me. All right. When a father and a mother love each other very much, you learn about the birds and the bees at a very, very young age of 3. My word. There are many things happening in my court, not less that there is yet a third plot against my wife in probably just as many years. I don't appreciate it. But it's been exposed, which means the chance of it actually happening are little to none. All right, well, victory ensued. There are 3 survivors left. Unfortunately, Count Sunyar is one of them, but we can still at least enforce the demands. I imprison him, I gain dread. It's okay. To my liege, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. I know when I am defeated, it seems I am left with no choice but to comply to your demands. That is indeed true. And finally, I could execute him, but I would gain familial kinslayer. And this isn't a good thing. I can't kill him, unfortunately. But what I can do is I could move him to the dungeons in which all of his family members, which I believe would actually be us, would receive a penalty against me, but I don't have a choice. He has to go down to the dungeons. He has to. We have to. we have to lose this. I'm tired of Count Sunyar. He's been a pain in my side for the last 10 years, and it will happen. Now let's disband all of our troops. We are being raided, which isn't actually true. I am not going to pay homage to my liege because I don't care about him that much. But finally, that quick war has been resolved. Not too much of a dip into our coffers. And it has finally ended. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of this part of my story. Counselors and courtiers, I do appreciate you. If you enjoyed any part of this story, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, turn on bell notifications, and of course, leave your comments and concerns. As I mentioned, I do receive and read and take into consider every single one of them, so they are appreciated. Be sure to come back to watch the next episode of DUKE Guifré The Hairy. This is Havoc, and I'll see you around.
Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of 4, kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must read carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.